Hi everyone. Today we're going to compare Bosch and KitchenAid dishwashers. So really kind of a classic comparison that we do in our showrooms multiple times a day. And this is also kind of one of those comparisons that it's an American style dishwasher KitchenAid versus a European style dishwasher in Bosch. So I'm going to start, let's talk about Bosch a little bit. Now Bosch, just like KitchenAid and really every brand, there's going to be series. As you step up, you're going to get more features, quieter, more adjustability in the racks. Some drying features might be different as well as you step up within brands, and certainly a Bosch, KitchenAid are going to be very similar in that. So now when you're looking at Bosch, some of the things that you get when you step up, kind of like we said, the quietness, the drying, those sort of things, really when you're looking at Bosch, they have 100 series, 300 series, 500 series, all the way up to benchmark. And I would say, like, if you're looking at their 100 series, the really low end, inexpensive ones, those are where the comparison's very different. It's not really, I would say, like a normal historic Bosch. That's going to be more of a hybrid tub, plastic interior in parts of it. It's not going to give you that full Bosch story. So we always say you should at least start with the 300 series and then kind of work your way up from there. Really what happens in the 3 and the 500 series, the way the drying works in those, condensation dry in European dishwashers in general, what that is the water gets very hot in that European dishwasher. The hot water is attracted to the cold stainless steel sides of the dishwasher, and then it will dissipate down the side of the dishwasher as it turns into steam. So that's kind of historically how a European condensation dishwasher works. What Bosch does in the 3 and the 500 series is they will, at the end of the cycle, will open the door. So the door automatically opens, allows some of that excess moisture and heat and water vapor and that sort of thing to exit the dishwasher and helps with the drying. So it does a pretty good job. Once you get to the 800 series, and that's kind of when it all changes, Bosch has something that's called CrystalDry. And now that's actually it's an element that's in the bottom of the dishwasher. And when that element it senses the moisture, once it feels that moisture and it absorbs the moisture, it emits heat naturally into the dishwasher. So it's kind of like a heating element that's not using any power. And it's just it's zeolite that is in that CrystalDry dishwasher that is emitting that moisture. I will tell you, I have a Bosch with the with the CrystalDry, and it does a phenomenal job. We have 3 young kids, we do a ton of plastics. While nothing really does a great job with plastics, that will do better than pretty much anything that's on the market for sure. So I would definitely recommend for drying, you're looking at something 800 and up with that CrystalDry setting. Also with Bosch, what they do really good is kind of a lot of adjustability in the racks. So European dishwashers will also sit flush in your cabinets, so they won't stick out from standard cabinets. Makes the tub itself could be a little bit smaller, shallower compared to like a KitchenAid or an American style dishwasher. But Bosch kind of makes up for that with really a lot of adjustability that you can put anything from large pots and pans to the bottom, bowls in the top, any of those things. They do a really nice job with the adjustability. And finally, I would say reliability with Bosch, really one of the best, most reliable dishwashers that's out there on the market. I think they do a really great job. But I will always say, really start at the 300 series, but really once you get to the 800 series is really where you'll notice those better features with the better wash arms on the bottom that gets to the corners of the dishwasher, the better drying with the crystal dry as well. And then really, they have a benchmark series above that, but I would say too, a little bit quieter, some different features on there, but nothing really that's going to be significantly different or an upgrade from the 800 series.
Agreed, yeah, and you're talking about Bosch, like you said, trying to reach a broad market, a lot of price points. KitchenAid's done a little bit differently. Certainly on the reputable end, a brand everyone knows, the strong U.S. sentiment, and a pioneer really for a long time in the kitchen dish business particularly. KitchenAid though really keeps it tighter. Kind of a good, better, best strategy. Not so many models. Doesn't dabble in maybe a hybrid tub where it's plastic on the bottom and steel. Kind of stay more true to its core. Stainless steel interior, known for being big, generous racking. They really, even throughout the steps in the models, you get a third rack that's a taller rack, but they're not going to go crazy with all the flexibility. When I say the flexibility, that may be misleading. It doesn't mean that they don't hold dishes well. It just means that for them, if it's fold down on, it may be a bit gimmicky and they may not feel like it's necessary. We highly encourage customers when they're buying dishwashers in our store, bring in those pots and pans, the ones that you use every day. Try them, because every dishwasher may hold one a little bit better than the other.
Absolutely.
You spoke about the fact that it was American dishwasher. Now, like all dishwasher brands, and Bosch being no different, you know, a lot of handle options, or they are known for a traditional kind of knurled handle, unique handle. Now introducing actually a lot of colors in their products, so that's kind of maybe an exciting thing. But also pocket handles, and we love pocket handles as a store, as a company, because it gives great flexibility, mixing and matching brands or long-term replacing them, not having to be tied to a handle. But the fact that it's American, we said that it will stick out, and it does stick out beyond standard cabinets. That said, many folks have an American dishwasher today and it sticks out and they're just fine. We pointed out when you're doing new cabinets, sometimes you never really pick up the existing one that's in your home. And when you do this new project, man, you're like, wow, this thing sticks out. It's kind of driving me nuts. KitchenAid does make a model or two that does sit flush. So you can have that option, but traditionally they will stick out. Beyond that though, talking just about the drying, right? You talked about that zeolite and that natural element that emits the heat and pulls it in without using electricity. KitchenAid's going to do it a little bit differently. It has a heating element, very much like the bottom of an oven, a baking element, if you will, constantly running throughout the machine. Doesn't heat the water quite as hot in a normal wash, about 30 degrees less hot or 20 degrees less hot than a European machine will do naturally, but it uses that heating element to aid in the drying. I always tell people this. Our recommendation is when you're using a dishwasher, whether it's American or European, they are using less water and energy is a general rule. So you want, once your machine's running, to leave it closed. But you have to be honest with yourself. If you have family members, or maybe it's yourself, that are the type to always add that soup spoon or that little plate you found after the dishwasher has started and you're just in and out of it and not patient enough, the KitchenAid may be a strong contender there, because that heating element is always replacing that hot air to aid in the drying, whereas that European, the Bosch or the Miele's or those brands, they are not. They produce that hot energy, keep it in there to trap it, to use it to dry. So just maybe a user case if you're that person.
Yeah, you open up that dishwasher, it's all gone.
So both good options there, American versus European. You be the judge.
And don't forget to follow us on social media for appliance tips and updates from Yale Appliance.
Your feedback is what shapes our series. Like what you saw? Give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you.
Stay informed and inspired on all your appliance needs. This is Appliance Advisors signing off.